Welcome and everybody. Welcome to Butcher and the Beard. I'm David Butcher. That's John Shanley. How's everyone
Hey,
doing today?
what's going on? Morning. Lots to
Good
talk about today
morning. A lot to
on a
talk about. A lot to
big,
talk
big
about.
football Saturday. NFL
Football
today.
Saturday.
Yes. But David, I know you wanted to give a
I
message
wanted to
to
give
one
the
of our guests that was
yes.
made some picks the other day.
Yep,
So let's
I
just
do. We'll start
bring it
with
out.
that. Yeah. Hey Thor, I love you, my guy. But hey, man, you said Vasky was from Asgard, and he is. And he had a performance that he transcended onto our boy Steven Stamkos. 4 goals. He gave him all the Asgard powers. I think you were looking up there and you were laughing a little bit, having a beer, chuckling, knowing that the Lightning are the Lightning, man. You can't ever go against your own family, and that's what you did. And I'm sad about that, but we're gonna forgive you this time, okay? But I better see the Lightning in every other pick, Thor. You're getting this one. John's gonna send it right to you. So make sure that
Believe me, he's watching.
yeah, he better be watching. We're gonna
he's
send it to
eating
him.
he's eating some crow right now.
He is,
You
he is, he knows, he knows, we have that like that, but I just wanted to send that into the beginning of the show to let you know that hey,
know.
don't ever go against Vasky, okay? You know how
Yeah.
Vasky is.
Also, our other guest, Santa, he made some pretty bad NBA picks too. And I know he's hurting in his wallet tonight. So hopefully, not too bad. I still want my good presents for Christmas, not my, not some gold just because he can't afford it anymore. But,
You can't pay the
Santa,
elves.
that's the gambling game, man. Sometimes the Heat just fall and, whatever. Anyway, so what we really want to get into first is the Raiders scoring 63 points. Like if you
Yeah.
remember on Thursday, we both said that's going to be a sleeper, a dud, and it's going to bet the under. And here we go, and the Raiders score
Yeah.
the second high of the season at 63 points, which is absolutely ridiculous. So
Yeah.
I'm not saying Vegas is fixed, but I'm saying I'm sure a lot of people bet the under in that game. And then all of a sudden, like this happens, like you want to give into conspiracy theories, and then stuff like
Yeah.
this happens, and it's like, come on, man, that doesn't make any damn sense.
It doesn't. We're gonna have to realize what Vegas is doing at the moment because you literally last week. I get it, it's different teams, different game plans, different teams are
Yeah,
better against other teams, but to go from literally from the last couple weeks, like the Raiders haven't been scoring her
you had
tremendously
zero the week
points.
before.
Yeah, 3 points. So, and then the week before that, they were what, like 14 points or something like that, like an
Yeah,
average team. And then you're telling me that they have scored 63 points, their record in their NFL franchise.
yeah.
Like, okay, that's just a little like, we all have our doubts. So we all think like maybe the players are not sitting there thinking, hey, we're not doing anything wrong because they're not. But like there's somebody giving a call somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So if you look at their last few games, it was 16 points against the Jets,
Yep.
13 points against the Dolphins,
Yep.
17 points against the Chiefs, 0 points shut out on Sunday,
Yeah.
just a few days before, 0 points against the Vikings, and then 63. That makes
63.
total sense.
Yeah.
That's just,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
But so what were you saying about like,
Yeah. No,
what
I
does
was
that mean
getting
for
in
does the
depth.
championship even mean anything?
Yeah, that's what we're coming down to. We would like your opinion, you guys, if you want to comment below. Is what is your opinion on the meaning of a championship now? Like with all this going on, with sport betting being humongous now, like I'm starting to believe that championships are just becoming less and less important to the NFL franchise, And that's my
Well,
opinion,
it's less important to the fan.
Yeah, well, yeah,
you know?
everybody's a fan of somebody. They're all a fan of what, sorry, of the over under. They're all a fan of the parlay. They're all a fan of, hey, can like I'll be like, hey, I don't like the Jets, but at the end of the day, I'm looking for Brees Hall to score 55 rushing yards. You know what
Right.
I mean? So like, am I in the same boat? Like I'm looking like, hey, I hope he goes over 55 rushing yards, and it doesn't sound like a lot, but then he gets 30. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
between fantasy football and just the straight up betting for any sports now,
for any
like
sports, yeah,
that's what it's about. It don't matter. You could be a last place team, but if you're the best player and you drop 30 points, you're going to make somebody some money. And
yep, that's what it is.
now that's what it's become. And it was kind of like slowly, sports is slowly getting that way. And I know, before gambling became legal, there were a lot of people out there who would have their local bookies at their local bar, and they would, place the games. But not only has it become legal, like what you can bet on, the live betting, all this other stuff, it's surreal,
Yeah.
and gambling, it is what it is. But well, it gives people extra incentive to watch a game, and it also gives them hope that they're going to win some money and
Yeah.
make their lives a little bit better, or feel that joy from winning a bet. So, that's here to stay, and it's changing the landscape of sports at such a vast pace. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Because I
So
know when I was growing up, it was like, yo, championships was it. It wasn't about a
yeah,
dollar to my name. My team
right,
repping that Lombardi or whatever
yeah,
trophy
exactly,
was the holy grail as a child. You know what I mean? So like maybe now that we can gamble, maybe that the like I'm not saying to, pick the birthday, like, hey, you gotta be 21 and make it older. But I'm just saying, like, I want to go back to the days of being a fan where I like
right.
really enjoyed my team. Like even with the Patriots, those fans were like
Oh
all
God,
about, you know what I mean?
oh yeah,
Like
Tom
20
Brady,
years
the
of
greatest ever.
yeah, yeah. So like for like it to be sitting there and like diminishing like what the championship means, that's what hurts the most as my heart. Like, because I'm a humongous fan, I love
Yeah.
the game. I played football growing
I,
up, you know what I
I
mean?
think
So
some of the old school fans, and we are the old school fans now,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
for sure.
as we get older, that stuff still means a lot to us. And
Yeah,
the fans themselves, but the media is still going to be about championships, and they're going to rip
yeah,
you if you've never won, and
yeah,
whatnot. But as the fans, and especially now with such high access to sports gambling,
yeah,
it don't matter anymore. Like, I'm a Giant fan. We're not going to really do much this year. We've had some wins, but I've made some good money on it because they started off so poor.
yeah,
Now they're underdogs every game, so you put a little money on them to win, and you're gonna get a little bit more because they're usually the underdog. So it is what it is. You could still root for your teams, but the landscape of what's important in sports is kind of going away. But
yeah, 100%.
um,
I
so there was other fallouts too now from the Raiders because what's his name got fired, the
yeah,
GM,
Brandon
right? And
Staley.
Stanley, and
Yeah,
so now it's one of those things where usually that happens at the end of the season, but
yeah.
the last few years, more and more, these organizations are just losing patience, saying like, you know what, we're going to get rid of you now, and we're just going to have an interim coach and see how that goes.
Yeah, for sure. That's I think it's the right move. I like
It
it
is
sucks that I sucks that it is during season and stuff like that, but I feel
right
like
before Christmas. Merry Christmas. Here's
Merry
your pizza.
Christmas, move away from Los Angeles, the one of the most beautiful cities out there. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So, but at the end of the day, man, like I'm a Tua fan because I'm a Dolphin fan, but like, at the end of the day, like Justin Herbert is Philip Rivers 2.0, and I'll say it to the day that I like continually talk football because he is. I get
well,
it. He has the big body, the big arm, the big frame. He's that sexy pick. You know what I mean? He's like,
yeah,
damn, 6'6", you know, big as they got the arm talent that you can't teach. But at the end of the day, so did Philip Rivers. You know what I mean? And what
yeah,
did he bring to you in
yep.
that organization? Nothing but sitting there and praying because there's a lot of talent. Like
There
and
is there
you
is a lot
know,
of talent
yeah,
there, and like we talk about, yeah, like the face of sports has changed for gambling standpoint,
yeah,
but for organizations, it's all about winning. It doesn't matter,
yeah. It's all about winning.
if
Yeah.
you're gonna win, or we're gonna replace you with someone who will win. One thing or another. So obviously, this was a very disappointing season for San Diego. They lost Williams, one of their star receivers, earlier in the year,
Yeah.
and now every the quarterback goes down. Things happen, and unfortunately, if you don't win after a couple of years, they're going to replace you. Because they need change. They need to get some more excitement into the organization and be like, hey, look, we're not accepting these results, and so here's somebody new.
Yeah,
Like,
for
you
sure.
don't have teams like, even the Patriots. There's rumors that Belichick will be gone at the end of the
Yeah,
year.
that I think
And
that's
he's
real.
like one of the greatest coaches of all time.
Yeah.
You don't have people holding on to coaches a long time unless there's repeated success. So even the Pittsburgh Steelers, where they have Tomlin, like last year was the first year he was in trouble for finishing under 500 for the first time in his career, and
Yeah,
they still
Tomlin.
ended up being a game over 500. So like you know he doesn't win a Super Bowl every year, but he keeps that team competitive and relevant.
Well,
So
that's it. Yeah.
so that's it. Like, but if he ever had a season where he was like 3-10, three and whatever, and he had a bad season, even he would be on the hot seat because at the end of the day, you can keep consistency, but you need to win. Even if it's
100%.
you know, and if you're not, like I said, these organizations they're not waiting to the end of the season. They're just going to be like, sorry, time to go. This is not working out. It'll give you more time with your family, and like, listen, I know everybody feels bad. Okay, coach lost their job, blah blah blah. But in hindsight, almost every single one of these people that lose their jobs find another job someplace in the NFL.
Yeah,
Maybe it's
even
not as a head coach, maybe
yeah.
it's as a coordinator, maybe it's as a consultant or whatever. So like I always feel like it's sad, but at the same time, these guys are going to get taken care of.
Well, at the end of the day, he came from a tree 95% of the time that he was good at something, good enough
Right?
to, you know what I
Absolutely.
mean? Like, hey, he might have been a really good offensive coordinator, like,
Yeah.
or good, good off. And yeah, it sucks because you're gonna lose the money you were making, but hopefully
But you
you,
know what? The money these days are good, and you move, and you sometimes you make more in your life, and the others you make smart investments, make smart decisions. And
yeah,
like these guys, especially coaches are lifers, man. So it's not like they're working a 9 to 5.
yeah,
These coaches, professional coaches, whether it's a coordinator or a head coach, you're going like 24/7. You're getting like 5 hours of sleep a night, and everything else you're doing is related to your craft. So like when you have that kind of dedication, like you're not going to change. That's exactly what you're going to do day to day. And an
yeah,
organization is going to take you in and be like, look, you just might be a consultant, and like you're still going to come in every day and you're going to help break down film, and you're going to look and see little things, and that little piece of information could be the difference between a win and a loss for a team. So you're going to be valuable to an organization some capacity. So I feel like even though these guys lose their jobs, they will find some place to stay. Now it might not be cozy San Diego,
yeah.
but he will get a job someplace, and you never know, man. He could be a piece in a championship team one day in the front office, just because you don't see him on the sidelines.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I like that. That's a good take on it. You have to start and sit there and realize that, hey, like these coaches don't just retire after they get fired. You know what I mean?
No,
Like, look, like Vic Fangio, like best defense. All of a sudden, he gets fired from the Denver Broncos, and now look at him. He's 60 something plus years old, and he's
right.
the defensive coordinator now for the Dolphins. You know what I mean? Sometimes you
Hell,
just
Tom
take,
Coughlin was in his 70s when he was winning with the Giants, and he wasn't
yeah,
ready to go. It's like, bro, you're in the 70s. I love you.
yeah,
You did. I think they did let him go a year too early, but like at some point, that's the thing. Like at some point, they should retire, but that's all they know.
yeah,
They know for 40 years I've been,
yeah,
100 plus hours a week doing football. I don't know
yeah,
anything else. What am I going to do? Sit down and watch Christmas movies? No,
no, yeah,
I want to wake up in the morning and I want to break down film. That's what I want to do.
yeah,
So
the 70
you know,
hours a night, it feels like they're doing, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
that's all they're used to. So no, it makes
yeah.
sense. But yeah, no, man. Yeah, did you hear about the ticket prices going on in the
Oh yeah,
sport
yeah, yeah.
world?
You were telling me about that. We should all
Yeah.
go up to Carolina, make a
Uh,
little
we'll make
little day trip
a little
tomorrow.
day trip, but it's an easy
Forty
it's an
nine
e
cents, did you say?
45 cents, 45 cents.
45 cents
Yeah,
for a
45
Carolina
cents.
Panther ticket.
Yeah, that owner, he
Hey
is
man.
he's
Well, I guess they'll make up for it in beer sales. I remember what year was it that the Madden football game, they did it where you could like play GM and like set like beer prices and stuff for your
Oh no,
team.
I don't
And
even
like
know that. That's hilarious. I like that.
yeah,
That's
this was years ago. Like I haven't
yeah.
played video games in like probably 20 years. But at one point, I remember you could play like a Madden game, and it was like you could play GM style, and you had to
You can still play
develop your
GM style. I
guys.
never knew that you could mess with the beer
You
and
could,
stuff.
and like you could mess with ticket prices, and you could mess with beer sales. And I remember like doing something like where I put my ticket prices low and my beer sales like a little. No, no, I think it was the ticket prices were high and the beer sales were low, and like it caused problems and the fans fighting and stuff, which I thought was hilarious.
That is funny. That
So,
is hilarious, actually.
um,
Yeah, I
but
didn't know that you
anyway,
did that.
that's enough of that. But yeah, 45 cents a
Yeah,
ticket. I
45
mean,
cents.
they have not had a good year, but I guess if you want to get people in there, do they still have the rule where you have to have a certain amount of people to be on
Oh,
TV?
for the blackout,
The blackout
Yeah,
thing.
I don't think the
I
blackout
thought that
rules.
ended, but maybe
Yeah.
it's not. So maybe that's why they're doing that.
Yeah,
So that way you
I
can
wish that
they can
my
still have their
team
TV,
did
be
45-cent
on.
tickets.
Well, man, you got to be on TV if you want to, have people betting on that game. So,
Yeah. Red zone just cuts
you
out. There's
know,
no red zone for it.
you're right. Yeah, you got to be on there. So,
Yeah, that's too
anyway,
good.
but anyway, so we'll stick with football, and we got 3 games today that
Yes,
we
we
can go
do.
over. So, all right, we'll start with today. You got at 1 o'clock the Vikings and the Bengals. The
Viking and
Vikings
Bengals.
and the
So
Bengals.
right now it's all the momentum of the Bengals.
Well, the Bengals is one of those teams. They just, they won't go away. They got talent, but then they lose Burrow, and then it's like, okay, now you get a week of practice, and they still pull out victories. So they're
Yeah.
both teams are 7-6, but I
Yep.
feel like Cincinnati's at home. They're on the rise. Minnesota is on the road, and they're kind of low. Like they won last week, 3-0, but I can't see them. I know Justin Jefferson's back though, isn't he?
Yeah, Justin Jefferson is back. He was back last week too. I think he had one catch.
Yeah,
Nothing crazy, nothing spectacular. But after seeing what the after seeing what the Raiders did,
yeah.
maybe we'll see 63 points also.
Who knows? But as of right now, Cincinnati is favored by 3, and the matchup predictor has the Bengals at 56%. So that's not quite overwhelmingly favorite, but
Yeah.
it's not bad. Let's see. The Vikings have lost 2 of their last 3 games, and the Bengals have won 2 of their last 3 games. Bengals are putting up some points. They're putting up 34 points, and then Minnesota is like 3-0, 12-10, and they lost 21-20. So I see Cincinnati putting up 30 points on them and just taking this game.
Yeah, I think so too. Even though like the Vikings got the 13th offense and the 10th defense. So we'll see. It should be a good match, but it's all stats at that time. It's nothing
Right.
crazy. We all have seen it, like, we've seen these teams crumble. We've seen these teams play good. Like I seen the 27th defense play good some games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it all
Let me see
comes
what
down
the
to that.
weather's going to be like.
Yeah.
It's a 1 o'clock game, 40 degrees, no snow or anything. I'm
Yeah,
waiting for
yeah.
snow this time of year,
I know.
Watch these games in white. It's funny if you look at the 3 games today, everybody is 7-6 except for the Lions are 9-4.
Yeah,
Like
I
they're
saw that.
all in
I
that
saw that.
middle bunched up. So
Yeah.
all right, so we both like the Bengals in
Yeah,
that
Bengals
one.
for sure. Yeah.
Next is the Steelers and the Colts. Man, this is one of those games. Indy is favored by a point. They are the home team. Uh, Pittsburgh started out hot. Their defense was great, and then all of a sudden they've lost a couple games. Their just offense keeps sputtering, and Pittsburgh has they fired their offensive coordinator, but
They
the
didn't do
offense has
anything.
not has
Yeah.
not gotten better. Their last 5 games, they've only gone 2-3. They've put up 10 points. 10 points. They beat Cincinnati 16-10, but it's only 16 points. And then they lost to Arizona, which at home lost to Arizona and New England at home, which is really not very very surprising because they were
Yeah.
favored in both of those games. Arizona, whatever, maybe didn't prepare for, but New England, like, how could you not be ready? And that was one of the games where everyone expected it to be a low scoring game, and then New England scores 21 points in the first quarter.
Yeah.
That shows you New England is still inept because they still finished at 21-18. But like you gotta put you've got to get more offense out of the Steelers. So
Yeah, for sure. You got too much talent on that team. Like
mhm,
George Pickens can catch the ball like Odell Beckham Jr., you know what I
he
mean?
does.
So I don't get what's going on with there. I think you just got to trust them. You're not playing anything right now.
Yeah. Is Pickett playing, or is it still the other quarterback?
Yeah, so the Pickens done for the year.
Pickens is done for the year. See that I think that's where they really went downhill too, because even though he wasn't Pickett wasn't, throwing these great numbers out at you, but he was clutch at the end of games. And Pittsburgh defense would keep you a minute, and then he would, get you down the field, and he'd get you that winning score.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
I don't see them doing that right now. Trubisky is just, I mean, he was what he was in Chicago. Like he's serviceable, but he's not a winning
Yeah,
quarterback.
Trubisky. Yeah. Oh God.
He's
Yeah.
just he's not gonna do any of that stuff. So I'm gonna pick the Steelers just because I'm waiting for them to do something. The Colts though, every time you pick against them, they end up winning.
Yeah.
So they're one of those teams that probably deserves to be favorite. They're at home, but I'm loyal to the old franchises. I'm gonna go with the Steelers to pull this one out. The defense just, I don't think they're gonna lose three in a row. They've been embarrassed the last couple times at home, so I think they're gonna get on the road. They're gonna get their minds clear, and their defense is gonna dominate this game. What do you
For
think?
sure. I think the same thing. I think that I'm gonna do the Steelers too. Can you not be embarrassed that much? And the Colts seem to be embarrassed themselves, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pick on the Steelers too. As much as I want to go the Colts, because you got I don't know. I'm gonna
Well,
go
the Colts
Steelers
had
too.
won
Yeah.
four in a row before they lost to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
You know,
It's it's
Tennessee,
a it's
they
a
beat
it's a coin
Tampa, they
flip,
beat New
but
England,
yeah,
but
but
but they weren't impressive wins either.
yes, yeah, for sure. So I'm gonna do the Steelers. I'm gonna hope I got George Pickett on my fantasy team, so might be a little
Well,
biased.
we are in the consolation brackets. Whoever the winner, I told whoever wins my league that we didn't interview them if they grace
Yeah, okay, I'll
an
talk to mine
interview, but
too. We want people on, so
no,
definitely. So, but no, like
I,
definitely.
I, honestly, the waiver wire is probably going to win this year, this week, because the Raiders defense was on the waiver wire, and they probably got like 50 something points.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
anyway, all right. So finally, last but not least, we got the Broncos at the Lions. So this is a real interesting game. The
This might be
Lions, the Lions were great last year at the end, but they just missed out the playoffs because of tiebreakers. And they started off the year hot. They
yeah,
won the games they won, but then all of a sudden they're losing some road games, and they're even losing some games at home that they should be winning.
yeah,
I think the biggest thing for me is when they got spanked on Thanksgiving by the Packers, because that was like, hey, look, you're supposed to be a good team. This is your division. Everybody in the world was picking you. That's probably it could be a Vegas thing,
yeah,
but like you go home, like you've got to win those games. You got to at least be competitive in those games. And Goff has not been good the last few weeks, and this is when it counts. Like these are the games that are important. These are the games that are going to win you your division,
yeah,
and and take you to the next level, because you're probably still going to win the division, but you got to win these games. And now you have a home game after a couple of embarrassing losses. And you're hosting a hot Denver Broncos team
yeah,
who honestly has really turned the page since their loss.
yeah.
Um, you
The big
know,
loss to
right.
Miami. Yeah, they.
Listen, my fantasy team has not been great, but I've had Courtland Sutton, and what a turnaround year that guy's had.
He
You
was
know,
already
he,
good. I'm not gonna
he
lie to
was
you.
already
He's
good, but
already
last year he
good.
didn't have the end zone, and they said that the new coaching staff and everything would help him, and it has. Like
Yeah,
He's a big receiver. He's got good hands. You know,
Well,
he's
that's
out of
what
the red zone.
he only has fumbling problems. That was his
He
biggest
does.
issue.
He
It's like,
does.
but if you throw it to him in the end zone and he don't have to move,
Yeah, right, exactly.
you
And
can't fumble.
he's got quite a few touchdowns this year.
Yeah,
So, um, I I my heart goes for the Lions because being an NFL fan as long as I've had, they've always been like the lovable loser, and
yeah,
you
the
want to see
lovable
them do
loser.
well.
Yeah,
You want to see them do well, but they're just not heading in the right direction right now. And Goff might not be that
I don't think
elite
Goff's answer. I didn't think
quarterback.
Goff's answer when they dropped him from the
I
Rams.
I
You know what I mean?
I liked him, but he
Yeah.
was playing good like
Yeah.
that
He
last
won
half.
his, I mean, he went to the Super Bowl, didn't win it, but he did go to the Super
Right.
Bowl with the Rams. And then
Yeah.
they're like, yo, we need Matthew Stafford. So
Yeah,
they
that was
swapped
one of the
picks.
well,
Yeah.
in fairness, that was like one of the worst Super Bowls ever.
Yeah.
That was like the what is it, like 13-10 or something like
Oh,
that.
the
Or
Rams versus
yeah,
the
that was the
yeah.
Patriots.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
boring as hell.
Yeah, because then the next year was the Bengals versus the Rams.
According to the matchup predictor, Detroit is a 5-point favorite because they are at home. And 59.3% of the matchup predictor predicts the Lions. But like I said, I'm not. I think I'm going with the Broncos. They've just been
Yeah.
hot. They're playing at a good level. They have a great coach. You know, Wilson is a really good quarterback. You know, he just wasn't in the right system, whatever. You know, the dude's won a Super Bowl, you know, and
Yeah.
he's been
Did he
to a
win two
couple of
Super
Super Bowls.
Bowls?
He went to 2 Super Bowls, but he lost. Remember the
Oh yeah, the
running he
run.
handed off
No,
to Marshawn Lynch?
yeah, everybody said that.
Yeah.
To this
That
day,
that play was
that was
incredible because
Vegas. That was Vegas in his ear. Dude, Marshawn Lynch on first
I
down,
don't
you're not
know.
running
I yeah,
with a
hindsight,
minute and something left.
hindsight's always 2020. But when I looked at that play, it actually wasn't a bad play because the defender who intercepted that was not where he was supposed to be. It was a broken play. Like he was supposed to like on the snap, he was supposed to go cover somebody else, but he just was out of position. But Wilson just tried a quick little throw to the guy, and he just happened to be there to catch it. So like
Yeah.
it was just one of those things where it was like, oh man, that was it
I
wasn't a
can't
terrible
see it
call,
though.
and
I I
it was first down, right?
yeah, it
So
was first
everyone
down.
was like, "Why don't you just hand it off?" Like they probably would have handed it off the next play. This is just a quick little, you know.
Yeah, I
Like
still you could put
I
five guys
couldn't.
on Marshawn Lynch and
I
he's
know.
breaking some tackles. I just think, and you know, I'm a Dolphin fan, so I never want to see the
Yeah, yeah,
Patriots win a
yeah,
damn thing. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So, but you know, it is
yeah,
what it
yeah.
is, and we have to. People don't even talk about it anymore.
Yeah, I know.
That's how crazy the world is. It's
Yeah,
always about the new Super Bowl. So,
yeah,
like as a
exactly.
fan, you keep repping. I'm repping the '72 Dolphins, and I never even watched them play. You know what I mean?
That's funny.
So, you know, like, you know, at the end
Yeah,
of the day, so like,
yeah. They're the last team to actually go undefeated, so
yeah,
they probably will be the only team to go undefeated at this
it's
point.
the
Like, you
NFL
know,
is
it's
just
almost
too hard,
impossible. You
dude.
know, my Giants cost the Patriots going undefeated, which was well deserved and well earned. That was probably one of
They
the
should
best
have
Super Bowls
lost
ever
in
played.
the regular season to the Giants, and that game was,
Game was great too, and that's what
yeah,
propelled the Giants to that run. So it is what it is. You know that it made for a better storyline. Like the
for
undefeated
sure.
Patriots go in there, and guess what? They get punched in the fucking mouth. Yeah, how'd you like that, Brady? Anyway, all right, so that's our football picks for today. We'll save the tomorrow's game for tomorrow's podcast because
Perfect.
we'll do one tomorrow. I want to do a little bit of NBA and NHL. David is a big Lightning fan, as you all know, and I'm a big Ranger fan.
Yep.
So, being from New York originally, so we're gonna go over those games for tonight, and then we'll do some NBA stuff.
Yep.
So, tonight, let's see. My Rangers. We played last night. Great win against the Ducks. Um, I'm telling you, we got Quick, ex Lightning superstar, and he is playing like a superstar, even though he's older. He's what 38, 39 years old, and he's got
Who
that
did you
magic
get?
right now. Jonathan Quick, our goalie. Yeah,
Well,
no, maybe he's from Asgard. I don't know. He's been
man,
playing great. He's been playing better than Shesterkin right now.
yeah,
He's been hot, giving up 1 goal a game, and standing on his head, and we're scoring for him. You know, the power play was on point last night. We take care of business in at home with Anaheim, and now we get to play on the second night of a back-to-back. We go on up to Boston and play in the Bruins.
Awesome.
Right now, the two of the top teams in the league points wise, and Boston's just been incredible since last year. We handed it to them in MSG a couple weeks ago. I think we scored 7 on them, beat them like 7-4 or something like that. So I know they're looking for revenge. But let's go. Let's get some hockey out there.
Yep.
Let's have some fun. David, you guys are
Playing
playing
the
on the
Flames.
road. You're playing the Flames. So
Yep.
what you think?
We're gonna win. They're not good. They're 11 wins. They're 11 wins. We're 14. I'll take the 3-game win over them. So, but no, we gotta have probably Vasky in the net, and he's from Asgard. He's gonna win. There's nothing else there. Braden Point. You got Hagel. You got Stamkos. They're coming off of 4 goals. They're gonna Kuchera. He's gonna be looking for the assists. He's on. I think he leading the league in a points for
Mhm.
himself because
Yeah.
I never seen a guy who can pass the puck better than him in my life. Like this dude is just amazing. He really is. I'm not being biased either. Go check out the stats. I promise you, the dude knows how to. Doesn't even look. He can pass it off a back wall. He can do a bank shot. I promise you, he'll find the guy that's open. But I'm going Lightning. They're gonna win. If they don't win, I'm
Mhm.
gonna give all the listeners $1. All right?
I don't know. Thor might call you up and be like, "Listen, you
Yeah,
went against him again," but
yeah.
he's busy. Whatever.
But
All
yeah,
right, a couple basketball things I want to go over. Obviously, I'm a big Knicks fan. I really enjoyed. Hold on, I got to do a little wardrobe
a
change.
little wardrobe change.
Little
Do it.
wardrobe change. All right, basketball. My Knicks. Hey, Kevin Durant, how'd that feel last night? Not so good, huh? Yeah, it's only the first. It's actually the first time after 13 straight games that Kevin Durant has beaten the Knicks. Um, he talks a lot of junk, and a few weeks back he was talking how nobody wants to go to the Knicks, blah 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 blah, because nobody their franchise isn't relevant. They haven't been in the finals, and like I said, I'm like, I think he's dead wrong about that because back when he was a free agent, he wanted to go to the Knicks,
Yeah,
and they were not going to give him a max contract because he was coming off that Achilles injury.
yeah,
So he took the full contract from the Nets. And now he just likes to, because the Knicks wouldn't give him that contract, he likes to kind of poke at them every now and then.
yeah,
But last night, after, Brunson scored 50 and they blew them out on their home floor, um, there was like thousands of Knicks fans in the
yeah,
Suns arena chanting "Let's go Knicks!" Like you can hear it from the game. So I
yeah,
wonder if he still feels that way, like Knicks aren't relevant when thousands of Knicks fans in his home arena would chant "Let's go Knicks."
yeah,
Just
for
wondering
sure.
if you're
Yeah,
feeling that, Kevin. He is. He's still a great player, but
yeah,
he likes to troll people and like whatever. Um, but the one thing about that game last night that I do feel bad for is Beal got hurt again.
yeah,
He went up for a 3-pointer, came down on his ankle hard. Uh, it was one of those plays where they called a flagrant on Dante DiVincenzo because when you go up for a 3, you're not supposed to go in his landing space. But he never
yeah.
made contact. Like he came across the screen to try and block the shot, and then he landed to the side of him.
That's really hard when you're jumping.
Right. But he did. He went to the guy's side. Like his arm was extended to try and block it or try and at least get in his eyes so you couldn't see it.
Yeah,
But then his foot came down and it never made contact. Usually, when those calls are made, it's because the guy's foot comes down on the other
yeah, on
guy's
the other
foot
player's
and then
foot.
it
Yeah,
twists their ankle. So that's why they call it a flagrant. But it never made contact. It's
yeah.
his foot just happened to turn, and they reviewed it and they still said it was a flagrant because he was in the area.
Wow.
But whatever. Like
Yeah,
I don't agree with the call, but at the same time, I do feel bad for Bradley Beal. Like he is a really talented NBA player, and like he just can't stay healthy. Like even back when he was with Washington, he just couldn't stay healthy. And
yeah,
like
for
it's
sure.
sad because you want. I'm not a Suns fan, but you want their best out there.
Yeah, you do.
You
You
love
always
you love
do.
it when your guys do well, but at the same time, you don't want to see guys get hurt like that.
No,
That
never.
was the first time that the three of them were going to be out there together, and it lasted like not even a quarter, and
Yeah,
then
that's the.
he had to leave. So
Yeah,
whatever. It was a good win for the Knicks. Now tonight we have back to back as well. Rangers and Knicks back to back. I guess I'll have some fun watching some games tonight. But
Yeah, for sure.
we visit the Clippers. The Clippers, we beat them pretty handily in New York. That was when James Harden made his debut. Tonight, they are much, much better than they were when he made his debut. Clippers are actually kind of hot. They've won. They won at least 5 in a row. Knicks are here and there, but they've seemed to fit James Harden in, and they're gelling at the right time. And I know Kawhi's been going crazy.
Yeah.
I've always loved Kawhi Leonard, man. That guy is so good. Everyone kills him because he he takes a lot of time off. He was one of those big rest day guys, but man, when he's on the court, he's just as good as anybody in the league, man. He's one of the only guys I've ever seen shut down LeBron in his career.
Yeah.
He's just awesome. Defensively, he can score, he can hit three, he's just a difference maker. And then, last year they were up, I think, 2-1, and then he got hurt.
Yep.
Against Phoenix, and they eventually lost the series. But he's a difference maker, man. So we'll see what happens. Another good challenge for the Knicks. It's going to be tough back to back. They have not been good back on the second nights of back to back, and especially against good teams. So, hope for the best and go from there. Your team, the Miami Heat, have the Chicago Bulls for it seems like the 100th time already this year.
It's gonna be maybe 100 more.
I mean, it really has only been 3, but still. Yeah, you got the Bulls have beaten you twice, which makes no sense because the Bulls are not good.
Yeah.
Maybe it's payback from the game last year, the playing game, but
it could be. It could be.
It could be. So, what do you think?
I'm gonna go Heat. You got to go Heat. You got to take the Heat. You have to. I could do it 100 times. We could lose 100 out of the 100. I'm still going Heat. I'm biased. Okay, but if they lose.
No Bam and no Tyler Hero.
Yeah, I think we're okay.
Losing Bam is tough.
Yeah, losing Bam is hurt. That's the one. Tyler Hero is just the good six man. So.
Well, but I mean, he starts now, but
yeah. I'm saying he's in this.
He wasn't there for the playoffs. He's replaceable. Bam though is
he's your defender. He plays a lot of defending roles. So, but no, definitely. But yeah, man, I'm going Heat.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you would think the Heat, they're at home and they've already lost twice to Chicago, and it doesn't make sense that they would lose again because Chicago is like a struggling team. But yeah, it is what it is. One more game I'm going to talk about is the Nets and the Warriors. Man, the Nets are young, up and coming. I really don't hate them as much as I did when they had, the big three of Durant and Kyrie and James Harden. But they're young, up and coming. They're actually a fun team to watch. They'll still always be second fiddle to the Knicks, but the Warriors, man, they're done. They're not going to have Draymond. We'll see how they adjust to that. Who knows? Maybe they'll actually start playing better without him. But I don't think so. I don't know if they're going to have those role players. But they're it's going to be an interesting game to see. Other than that, there's really not too much more about NBA that I want to go over. Tomorrow we're going to have another big show, but we're going to try and dedicate it mostly to football.
Yeah.
Not going to have any special guests doing predictions until probably Tuesday. We'll see if I can get some people on here. My good buddy Danny Dimes doing football picks, but he likes to sleep in when we're recording. So we'll see how that goes.
We'll have to see. We got a couple people that want to come on, so we'll figure it out.
All right, we could wrap up the show. I think it's been pretty good, but we get to do our daily rants. So take it away, Dave. What do you want to talk about?
Oh, I'm on the spot. I'm on the spot. I didn't even know what I was going to rant about today. I'm going to rant about the Dolphins, even though they don't play till tomorrow. I'm starting today. They're playing the Jets. Their offensive line's a shamble. No one's even knows the starters anymore. I don't even think if there's one starter but Austin Jackson. My rant's going to be, is the season over before it's over? So much high hopes. I'm so sad. My rant might be that for the next 4 or 5 weeks because I have no idea what we're doing. We're going to see what is put on there. I think we have bubble wrap and tape around Tua because with this offensive line, he's going to have to throw the ball out in 1 second. No Tyreek Hill, bad ankle, so he might not play. No Devon Achane. he might not play. It's going to be Mostert and Tua and Jalen Waddle, and we'll see what the production level is. Even with the Jets, who just scored what 30 something points the
Mhm.
other day with Zach Wilson. So we'll see. And it's going to be a hurricane in Florida. So
Well,
yeah.
I,
So
I will say that, I wouldn't jump off the cliff right just yet.
yeah,
It's almost like the NFL is one game seasons, and
it really is.
the Dolphins are still at the top of the league. They're probably still going to win the division, and we'll see. Like, it only takes one game to boost that confidence or to get hot and
Yeah, really
make it
does.
happen. So I wouldn't get too down. They also lost Tyreek Hill for a little bit of that game last week, and he
Yeah.
is a huge part of it. Like, if you look at a lot of these teams that are at the top, they have what's interesting. Like, if you look at the Niners, they're probably the most balanced team, but at the
Yeah.
same time, if McCaffrey wasn't there, they'd be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of these teams, they depend on their superstars. Two is great, but he's not as great without Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
So those guys got to stay healthy. Mahomes is great, but the rest, and he has Kelsey. Like, the rest of the team around them, they're not that great.
Yeah.
So it's going to be real interesting. As far as a huge collection of talent, I hate to say it, Dallas is up there. Dallas can't stay consistent on the road. So, it's going to be a real interesting playoffs. I think this is one of the toughest years to predict that I've ever seen.
Yeah, for
You
prediction
know,
for sure.
um,
Yes.
so we'll just see how it plays out. But like I said, don't jump off
Yeah, I know.
the bridge right away just because you have a bad loss.
Yeah.
I tell this story all the time. Like, we talked about earlier how when my Giants had one of the biggest upset beating the undefeated Patriots. Well,
Yeah.
like, with like 3 games left in the season, they had a home game against Minnesota, and Eli Manning was horrible. He threw like 5 interceptions, and
Yeah.
like 3 of them were returned for touchdowns. And like, even as a fan, I'm like, maybe this guy isn't the answer. Well, then they go on the road and they beat the Bears, and then they go on the road and they beat um, the Bills, and then they have the home game against the Patriots, which they lost, but they were in that game, and it gave them the confidence to actually make the incredible run that they did.
Yeah. What an
So
incredible run
you
for sure.
never you never really know,
Yeah.
what lies ahead.
You
So
don't. You don't. It's true.
like I said, don't jump off the bandwagon. You're gonna have bad games where you just look
Yeah.
horrible. Same thing with Detroit. Like, I hope they turn it around. It's just they're not trending in that direction right now.
Yeah.
But you know what? If they can actually, even though I took the Broncos, if they win today, definitely a turn in the right direction because Denver is definitely a formidable team.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to get to my rant a little bit, and we're going to take it back to something that happened a few weeks ago, and that's the college tournament
Oh,
football. I
yeah.
know everybody here in Florida. I hear it all the time. Oh, Seminoles got screwed. How could they do this? It's the bias for the SEC, whatever, this and that. And it's like, look, every year, even before they had the tournament, somebody got screwed out of the championship game. Oh, this and that. This team didn't get in. This team didn't get in. The committee basically needs to decide who are the best teams in the league. Now, next year they're expanding the playoffs, so it's not surprising that we have a huge controversy this year.
Yes.
And we could say, well, next year it'll be better because we have, an expanded playoff. But in hindsight, when you look at everything, like, I can't kill them for the decision. Like, yes, Florida State was undefeated, and Alabama had one loss. But look what their one loss was to. It was to Texas, and it's like it's almost an impossible decision with all these teams. And listen, you might not like it, but the SEC is the best conference for a reason. Like most of our champions in the past 10 years have come from that division,
Yeah.
and like college is different than like pros and stuff. College is almost like how pro baseball was years ago. Like, if you were a huge franchise, like say the Yankees or Dallas, you could get all the best players. In college football, if you're a best player, you're going to be recruited by a team like Alabama or Georgia or someone in that conference, and you're going to be
Yeah.
like, I'm going to get the most. If I'm one of the top players, I'm saying, okay, I'm going to go to one of these football schools because I'm a top talent and I'm going to be noticed and I'm going to get my to shine and get my, and either I'm going to shine there or I'm going to make a name for myself. I'm going to go to another franchise and play well and get drafted and, be in the
Yeah.
NFL and this and that. But like, there's a reason that they have the best players. It's because they have the best programs, they have the best coaches, and they're always going to be that. So, is it biased? Kind of, but they have the best players. So if you
Yeah.
have the best players and you're the best team, it is what it is. Like Florida State might have done better, but the committee felt like, you know what? Alabama has a better shot to win the whole thing.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's the decision they made. And I can't kill them for it. I know people are biased and they're from Florida and they're big Florida State fans, and it's like they felt like I got screwed. But you know what? I don't think he got screwed. They just made a decision. Now
Yeah.
Florida State gets to play in another bowl game, and then they could talk about how well we should have done this, this, and that. But it's college football, man. It only a few teams are going to get selected, and there's lots of teams, lots of players that were out there. So just bite the bullet. Don't go out there and be like, oh, we got screwed over. Be like, hey, look, they made that decision. We're still going to go out in our next game, and we're going to throttle somebody and be remembered for that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's my rant.
Yeah, no, that's a good
College is
rant.
what it is.
Yeah.
There's so many programs, so many good schools, but the bottom line is they think they got the four best teams. Maybe they did. Maybe they left somebody out. On any given Sunday, any college program could probably beat somebody else. This is the decision they made, and I'm fine with it.
That's it. Same. The longer that I sit there thinking about it, the more it's just
Right. And
they tried to make it to where the teams were competitive. They don't want to see a team get blown out. It's not fun it's not fun. It's not fun to watch.
a few years
I see
ago,
it.
Oregon was putting up all these points on everybody. They get in, and then what happened? They got destroyed.
Yeah.
Come on, you got to have some sort of competition. And you know, having Alabama in there, they played everybody. They might even destroy you. They might win the whole thing. And
Yeah,
then you can go back and look and be like, oh well, they shouldn't have got in, but they're Alabama, man.
yeah.
you know,
They get a little more leeway. We
they
get it.
get leeway. I
Yeah.
like if the one team you lose to happens to have a great year and be in there too.
Yeah,
Yeah, So, oh well. Well, that's our show for today. We did well. It was a nice long show.
Yep.
We're gonna have probably even better one tomorrow because we're gonna have. We might do some again. We'll touch on the NFL, on the NHL, and the
NBA.
NBA, but we've got a whole slew of games in the NFL tomorrow that we're gonna go over one by one. So. And then we'll do the Monday night games too.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
then we won't be back until Tuesday.
Yeah.
All right.
And
So
yeah.
I hope you guys are listening. I hope you're
Listen.
enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying our stupid opinions and rants and whatnot. And we look forward to growing this and having some fun.
If you guys have any
things.
Yeah, if they have any things we want to discuss or anything, make sure to comment, man. Make sure you're subscribing, liking.
Yeah, make sure you subscribe and comment because we're gonna, probably on Tuesday, maybe we'll go over some of the comments and
that's what we want to start bringing into the segments is our comments of the week, pretty much.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
So on a Tuesday, if you guys comment and tell us what you guys want to discuss, we can put that into the play. And we appreciate you guys, man. We love you. Thank you guys for watching. And make sure you guys like and subscribe and share us out, man.
Absolutely.
We're here.
All right.
We appreciate you guys. You guys have a good day, and we'll see you later.
See you later.